So we talk about human stories within this murder, right? And I think the one the one human story that really affects me is the father, Robert Tay. Here's how Sek Kinwa knew about Robert Tay. Sek Kinwa was on day release, helping be a gardener in this very house, Robert Tay's house, several years before when he was an inmate of the Singapore Boys' Home. So Robert Tay had this thing where he was a businessman, and he had all these programs to help disadvantaged youth, youth in boys' homes, to come out and gain some gainful employment, some skill set, and he died because of that. In the newspaper reports, Sek Kinwa said Robert Tay recognized him and said, "Hey, aren't you that man who came here and worked here with me at some point? Why are you doing this? Why you're so young? Why are you doing this?" And Sek Kinwa, who was this very, very, very troubled man, told the courts at the time he felt happiness that he was being recognized by this man, and that happiness quickly changed into a fear that now that he was being identified, he would have to kill Robert Tay. So, what does that tell? I mean, how do you feel that about something like that when that happens?
I like to bring out a quote from the Straits Times on the 18th of August, 1985.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually from the brother of Sek Kim-wah. This is Sek Kim Seong. So he says, "My parents, society, and my brother must share the blame. My parents for not giving us the love, warmth, and guidance that we needed when we were so young, and society for ostracizing us when we were children and not giving us a chance." I think there's a lot of deep learning in that. It brings us to this quote, "It is easier to raise strong children than to fix broken men." And this is really it. From the start, if you read the history of Sek Kim-wah's family background, it's broken. He molested a 12-year-old cousin or sister.
Sister, I think.
Yeah, and you could sense that there was nothing done to rein all this in. And in fact, it was encouraged, right? His father actually encouraged him to take part in these belligerent activities.
Yeah, you're not wrong here, because Sek Kinwa's father was quite a piece of work in his own right. He worked as a petrol kiosk attendant at Serangoon Gardens, and he was one who told Sek Kinwa, my bosses have a lot of money, you should come and rob this petrol station. And that's what they're planning to do, except that when they when they went to case the joint, they said there was too much traffic, so it's not a good idea. And so they decided to do Andrew Road instead, which was, as you know, it's more quieter estate. Here's something hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious. I have to remind myself it's not hilarious, but it is very, very unfortunate. It just goes to show the kind of relationship the father and the son had. Here's the thing. Elder Mr. Sek said that when his son was 14 or 15 years old, the son stole watches from his employer and asked his dad to dispose of the stolen watches in KL. And the dad, rather than saying, "Hey, how dare," give you a thrashing and say you should never steal, which is what any of our parents would have done. Right now, we would say don't steal, but maybe not so much as thrashing, lah. Okay, because it's different kind of kids nowadays. But still, instead of that, the father took the watches, sold them in KL, and did not give any money to his son. And so the son felt cheated by his father over this, and in return, he cheated his own father because when the father told him to go and buy lottery tickets, and that one lottery ticket won, Sek Kinwa, the son, withheld 2 tickets from him and basically cheated him out of the $5,000. So this is the family. This is the family relationship.
It's utterly dysfunctional. and in today's context, I've got children in primary school. The teachers text you all day long. They try. I mean, it's not a bad thing. They're trying to get you involved in the raising of your child. In fact, the policies tell you that school is supposed to help the parents. Training your child, getting involved with your children comes first and foremost. And this is precisely the reason why. Because if you fail as a parent, you fail and all of society. If that kid grows up to be a monster, society suffers from it. And from Sek Kim Seong as well, the brother, he says society in turn has also failed the family. Who knows what it was like growing up as himself around his neighbors. They may have been teased, they may have been looked down upon. So it's a vicious cycle. There's a lot done by the state to encourage both parents to get involved in the raising of your children. Firstly, you've got MOE, because that is the first line of contact between teachers and the students. So MOE's policy is that parents are the first to raise and teach their children. The school
first
is
line,
support.
of course, right?
The first line, yes. And there's a lot of social programs. Look at the library. Look at any government organization. They have so many activities to encourage children and parents to do things together, and that is so important. Let's not look down on. Let's not oversimplify the importance of little things like this. Very human, very soft skills, but ever so important. And finally, if the state ever detects a situation where a parent is completely negligent, or very quickly they'll step in and whisk your child away.
You're not wrong that in over the past say 5-10 years, really, actually the amount of social family support has really grown significantly, tremendously. There's now there's lots of social workers for very many different cases that are happening in Singapore, right? But I will caution that by saying, there were 4 children in the Sek family, and only one turned out to be a spree killer. So we have all these issues, and they definitely can contribute to creating a spree killer. But there's always something inherent, whether it's a violent streak or something that causes one sibling to be a spree killer and one to not be a spree killer.